The Chicago Bears could be gaining 2 more early round picks over the next 2 off seasons, but losing a big part of their recent rebuild for this team, as Ian Cunningham, the Bears' assistant general manager, could be on the move as soon as the end of January. Cunningham is being linked to being the next general manager of the Indianapolis Colts, making this the 3rd offseason in a row that he has been linked to becoming another team's general manager. I'm here to break it all down and the impact that it brings. But hello, everyone, and Happy New Year to all those viewing right now. My name is Dick Brody, and as always, thank you for tuning in this episode of Just Another Year Chicago Bears. Now, before I begin today's show, hit that like button if you want a better year of Chicago Bears football in 2025, along with commenting below what position you would draft in this upcoming draft if we get that extra 3rd round pick. And are you a Bears fan and want to stay up to all off-season news and Bears news for free? Hit that subscribe button. And if you do all that by liking the video, subscribing, and commenting what position you want to draft with that extra 3rd round pick, you automatically enter to win a custom Chicago Bears jersey of your choice when we announce this Sunday after the Packers game. So let's jump into the recent news from Albert Breer, who he said on New Year's Eve that the Chicago Bears assistant general manager Ian Cunningham is a top candidate for the Indianapolis Colts if they move on from current general manager Chris Ballard, who has been their general manager for the last 8 years. Cunningham, who has been a part of the Bears as their assistant general manager the last 3 seasons, has been linked to getting a general manager job multiple times now. Back in 23, he was linked to the Arizona Cardinals. That last offseason, he was linked to the Tennessee Titans. And this year, he has been now linked to the Indianapolis Colts, which I honestly, in this situation, I think Cunningham is probably going to end up taking it. Ballard, who is the current general manager of the Indianapolis Colts for the last 8 years, has only made the playoffs twice, which one time in 2018 and one time in 2020. Ironically, the last 2 seasons that the Chicago Bears were in the playoffs. During the time of Ballard being the general manager, he has a 61-69-1 record, and honestly, it's not that impressive of a resume. 2 seasons with only 4 wins, 2 seasons with only 7 wins, 2 seasons with 9 wins, and 2 seasons with 10 or more wins, and only 1 playoff win in 3 playoff games during that time. In the last 3 seasons for the Colts, he's 20-29-1, and obviously they blew making the playoffs again this year. And he's made some pretty questionable free agent releases, signings, and on top of it, picks, along with a very messed up cap space in Indianapolis, which Ian Cunningham can come in and do because he's learned from Ryan Poles, which got to tip our hat to him, which he has done he is a good general manager at the end of the day, just made some really big mistakes in not addressing the trenches. He has been very good at rebalancing the books, and that's why the Bears have had a top cap space all 3 off seasons during that time. And Cunningham has learned how to do that and the importance of it from Ryan Poles. Probably going to give a full clear out of that roster in Indianapolis. Pick up some picks, get a lot of cap space, be a rough year for Colts fans next year, but start rebuilding like the Bears have done so far. Maybe just building the trenches first. But the Colts do have a big decision to make here. Ballard has gotten some good players in there, though. There's still hope for Anthony Richardson, Jonathan Taylor, Buckner. There's a lot of guys. But at the end of the day, I don't see it working out. And 3rd time's a charm for Ian Cunningham, who this might be his last chance, because if the Bears have another bad season, no one's going to want to end up bringing in this guy. But with his resume, it's pretty darn impressive. But there is good news that comes out of it if Ian Cunningham does go to the Indianapolis Colts for the Chicago Bears. So if that happens, the Bears would get 2 third-round picks, 1 this year and 1 in 2026. So the Bears would have 9 picks in the upcoming draft, which is crucial for Ryan Poles, along with our new head coach. 5 of those 9 picks being in the first 3 rounds. And if we get the Colts' exact pick, depending on the situation, the Colts are pretty high up there. They're top 15 at the moment, which is pretty awesome. So that means that the Bears could have 4 top 50 picks in this upcoming draft, which is absolutely crucial. But I will miss him a lot, though, because of that extra pick. I assume Poles will be pulling another player of personnel, which I'll go through Ian Cunningham's resume real quick here, from another team to come to the Chicago Bears, which also could be very big. Bears get more picks, and also they're able to take a director of player personnel to become the next assistant general manager if Ryan Poles goes in that direction. Maybe from the Detroit Lions, maybe from the Minnesota Vikings, maybe from another team that just seems to know how to build offensive lines And honestly, I just want the Lions director of player personnel. I think that'd be absolutely huge because then we get the best of the best offensive linemen. But the Bears getting 2 crucial picks and then we get another one in 2026 would be absolutely massive. So the big thing, though, is Ian Cunningham leaving the Chicago Bears is a pretty big impact, and I don't think enough people are talking about it, though. So quickly going through Ian Cunningham's resume, from 2008 to 2017, he was the area scout for the Baltimore Ravens, and look how good this team is and how deep they are from players that are now veterans that he was a part of looking into. Then, because of his success with the Ravens, which they're still having, he was brought to be the director of college scouting for the Philadelphia Eagles, which look how good they are. And they keep building through the draft. So Cunningham was a big part of that, especially during that 17 to 19 period. Then from 19 to 21, he became the assistant director of player personnel, which he was still cooking. He had his hands in the draft still, but overall bringing in free agents. And then he became the director of that position for 2 seasons from 2021 to 2022. And then he was hired as the Bears assistant general manager in 2022, which obviously has been a very solid move because he's had some great moves as the assistant general manager telling his boss, like, hey, don't do this. He was able to trade with the Philadelphia Eagles 2 years ago from 8 to 9, which ended up getting Darnell Wright still for the Bears. We didn't get Jalen Carter, but that worked out because at the time was not a good decision. But then we also got Torrey Taylor out of that with that 4th round pick that we gained from trading back 1 spot. So the Bears got 2 future assets to this team. Again, that college scouting player director personnel, Cunningham saw that coming. And then on top of it, too, he did not allow Ryan Poles to move up to 8 when Atlanta ended up picking Michael Penix. He said, do not do this. And there's literally a video of him slamming the phone out of Poles' hands. Say, do not call the Atlanta Falcons to move up a spot to get Roma Dunze, because that saved the pick, which could have been Torrey Taylor or Austin Booker or someone along those lines. And then his negotiating skills are very solid as well. He got TJ Edwards to come from the Philadelphia Eagles to the Bears dirt cheap and that was a big factor. TJ Edwards even called that out. And then Kevin Byard came to the Bears for dirt cheap, potentially 2 Pro Bowlers for the Bears, or could have been Pro Bowlers for the Bears. Eagles connections told Byard about Cunningham and what he's doing in Chicago, and that's why Byard came here on a 2-year, $15 million contract, dirt cheap. And he's had other various impacts as well. But overall, I think Ian Cunningham has done a solid job for the Bears. Him and Poles have been a good team together. It's a big asset loss because who knows what the Bears are going to be able to do with Ryan Poles is just himself. But again, he can go out and get another Ian Cunningham if he really wants to. But if he does go, which is totally up to him, he's rejected 2 offers before, could reject a 3rd. I'm wishing him nothing but the best. And I'm shocked that he still stayed as long as he has, to be honest, because why not get the big job while you're at it? But again, we'll see what ends up happening. It's going to be a crazy offseason. It starts off right on the first day of the new year. But bear down, everybody. A very exciting episode to bring to you guys on the first day of the new year. I'm very grateful for you guys tuning into this one. And again, sorry for it being a little bit later. Obviously, on New Year's, you're out a little bit later than usual. So I had to get my good beauty sleep, as my dad would tell me. So thank you very much for tuning into this episode of Just Another Year Chicago Bears. Please like this video if you haven't already. Comment your thoughts in the comment section below and subscribe. Let's grow this channel to new heights in 2025. And it all starts today. But with that, thank you as always for tuning in. And I want to hear it loud and proud in the comment section to start off the new year. Bear down, baby.